welcome to my channel. In case you're new here, my name is Lorena and I love to share my recipes with you. And if you've been here before, then hello again. Today we're going to make gnocchi with a leek sauce. I really love to make gnocchi because just like pasta, it's so much better when it's homemade than when you buy it in the store. So today I'm going to show you all the tips and tricks that you can use to make perfect gnocchi at home. I also like that the sauce is going to be something nice and fresh. It's not creamy or too cheesy, you know, because of course we have to have some Parmesan cheese on there. But I like that we give it a nice twist so that it's not such a heavy dish. It's heavy enough with the gnocchi. I'm also going to teach you how to freeze the gnocchi because as long as you're making them, you might want to make a bit more than what you actually need. As always, if you want to see the full recipe, then all you need to do is click on the link in the description box below or on the eye above me, and that will take you to the blog where you will find lots more recipes. And also, if you like this video, you might want to give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't done it already. I'm now going to make these gnocchi with a leek sauce, so if you want to see how it's done, then keep on watching this video. The first thing that I did is cook my potatoes. The thing that you need to remember most about making gnocchi is that the potato has to be as dry as possible. So when you go buy the potato, make sure that you buy one that is also suitable for mashed potato because they tend to be a bit drier. And that's why I also cook them in the oven and not in water, because this way you make sure that it actually is expelling the water from the inside instead of absorbing water from the cooking method. So to cook them, what I did is poke it with a fork just to make sure that it lets go of all the steam as it cooks, and then I pop them in the oven at 200 degrees Celsius for about an hour, or until you can poke them with a fork again and you feel that it's cooked all the way through. After they were done cooking, I actually left them inside the oven where they are right now because it's warm, and I'm now going to pass it through a sieve. So if I wanted to do that when they're cold, then it's going to be really tough to do. Now, if you want to do that even more time in advance, then I recommend that you warm them up again in the microwave because it's going to make it so much easier to pass it through the sieve. Okay, so here are my potatoes. I just took them out of the oven. Now I'm just gonna cut them in half and I'm gonna scoop out all the inside and then pass it through here. I like to use a sieve because then the potato comes out finer, but you can also use a potato press and pass it twice. Okay, so I've now passed my potatoes through the sieve. They look really nice and dry. And now we're going to just add 1 egg, some flour, salt and pepper. Now the amount of flour in the recipe is the minimum that you're going to need. You're going to need to add more if your potato is a bit more wet. And that doesn't only depend on the type of potato you have, it depends on your oven, or if you cooked it somewhere else, or how long ago you cooked it, or even the time of the year. So I'm just going to add my egg and mix it around until it's an even mix. And then we're going to add the flour, the salt, the pepper, and repeat. Okay, so if you've done everything correctly, that's enough flour for you. If for some reason your potato is more wet, or there's something in the process that you've missed, or you cooked it in water, for example, then you will probably have to add more flour to the recipe. Whatever you do, try to keep the flour to a minimum, just enough of what you need, because if not, it's going to make the gnocchi heavier and heavier as you add more flour. What you want to do is to not have it stick into your hands or to the table, which I can do right now. So we're done with the gnocchi dough. Okay, so now this, I'm going to cut it in half and then make the gnocchi. So now we're just gonna treat it as any other dough. I'm going to roll it out into a snake form, and then we're gonna cut the size of the gnocchi that we want. To make the gnocchi, you could just cook them like this, but I actually like the grooves that are on them typically. So what I'm going to do is just roll them in a bit of flour. I'm also going to dust this. You can also use a fork. I'm going to dust this lightly. I'm going to make a circle out of it, and then I'm just going to pass it through once, like that. And there you have a perfect gnocchi.
Let's go through it once again. So you make a bowl, then you pass it through a bit of flour, and then pass it through the grooves that are going to mark them. And that's it. There you have the gnocchi.
I've already done half the dough, which is enough for 2 people, and I'm storing it in a container. I've put some cling film on it and then dusted it with flour and put the gnocchi on top. All of that is just to be able to unmold it once they are frozen. And then we're just going to put them inside a container because they're frozen on their own, and then you can take out as much as you want. I also have some extra over here that I'm going to put in the same way on top of a plate and just pop them in the freezer. By the end of the video I'll show you how these are. Now on to the sauce. So here I have all the gnocchi that I'm going to cook. They're already completely ready. I'm heating up some water over there to cook them, and then now we're going to go over to the sauce. So here I have some leeks. To wash these, you want to cut them in half and then just kind of pass it through the water while moving around the layers. And now I'm just going to cut them to have them like this.
I also forgot to tell you that first you need to discard the green part that's at the top of the leek and just stay with the whitest part. I had already done this when I showed it to you.
Now I'm going to cook the leeks on a medium heat with some butter, with the butter from the recipe, and that's going to form part of our sauce as well. And we just want them to go really nice and soft.
At this point I'm also adding some fresh oregano leaves. If you can't get a hold of fresh oregano, you can always use dry, but just use the tiniest pinch because it's really strong. Once the leeks are soft, you can add the garlic clove, which can be minced or finely grated.
As I'm cooking this, the smell is amazing. You can feel the mild onion flavor from the leeks. You can also feel the oregano, which is nice and fresh, and also the garlic, which gives it a really nice punch. Now we need to cook this mix until the garlic smell isn't that strong, and that means that it's cooked out completely. Okay, I'm almost done here. I'm going to now add some white wine to this, which is going to make it really fragrant. And then we're going to finish with some peas, and that's it.
We add the white wine and then let it boil down completely. At the very end we add the peas because they cook very fast.
So I just turned it out. We're gonna have it wait here while we're going to cook our gnocchi, which takes just a couple of minutes. Here I have some boiling water, and I'm just going to toss in my gnocchi, and as soon as they come up floating, I'm going to put them on top of my sauce.
When you cook gnocchi, you want to make sure that you only cook as much as can fit on the bottom of the pot, because if you put more in, they might start sticking to each other.
If you want to move them around, use the water. So just move around the water and they will move around on their own, and that way you won't ruin their shape. They're starting to come up now, and I'm gonna pick them up as they do.
So just carefully pick them up using a slotted spoon and release all the excess water before transferring it to the pan with our sauce.
And now finally we're going to heat it up with the gnocchi inside. And now it's ready. I'm going to plate up and I'll show you how I'm going to finish it.
I added some toasted almonds, and I'm also finishing with the drizzle of reduced balsamic vinegar, or you can also use aged balsamic vinegar, and of course some Parmesan cheese.
Before I finish this video, I just want to go back to our gnocchi that were frozen. They're nice and solid right now, so I can keep them all inside a container and they won't be sticking to each other, and then you just pop it straight into the water when you want to cook them. That was my gnocchi and leek recipe. I really hope you liked it. If you did like it, don't forget to put thumbs up to this video. It makes me really happy. Also, if you make this recipe or any other recipe from the vlog, don't forget to send me a picture because I really love to see what you cook. And if there's anything savory or sweet that you would like me to teach you how to make, then you can leave a comment below. I'm posting recipes every Thursday and Sunday, so if you don't want to miss any of them, then I recommend that you subscribe to my channel. It's free and only one click away. You can also follow me on Instagram, Pinterest, and Facebook as Cravings Journal. Thank you so much for watching this video and see you next time.